طريقتنا الصحبة في الهارم من جميعات. This tariqat, it is based on sohbat. It is based on association. And only with the association that you will find bullets against the shaitan and your ego. The difference between association and ibadat. The association is ibadat. It is worship. But so many times people are making worship, but it is not an ibadat. Meaning they're making worship, but they're not understanding what they're doing. And they're not understanding why they're doing. They're not understanding who am I fighting against in order to worship. The sohbat is to make us to understand our worship. Because there are veils between us and Allah. There are, Allah saying, 70,000 veils. Don't be too busy with those numbers and all these kinds of things. We're not even passing through one veil. But we must understand what those veils are, the curtains, those hijabs, those things that obstruct us. What is it that is stopping us from being with Allah? There's so many. Even with the ego, there's millions of tricks of the ego. It's not just ego understanding, millions. And so many, they're not even understanding what it is. They can understand through a reading of the books, but when we say, even when you're sitting like that, you're sitting with your ego. Even when you're speaking like that, you're speaking with, I'm not speaking with my ego. How we can begin to understand if you don't even see yourself? So you ask a question now. What is understanding? How do we understand? Understanding comes from what? From who? Does it come from us? Understanding comes from Allah. Understanding, it is part of knowledge. And Allah's name is Al-Alim. He is the one who is going to give. We don't have to look anywhere else. We have to look to Allah. We don't say it is coming from us. That is also an ego. So people can understand, but at which level they are understanding? Are you understanding at an animal level? Are you understanding at an ego level? Are you understanding from a shaitanic level? Are you understanding from an angelic level? These are all different kinds of understanding. How do you want to understand? How are you going to understand? You will not understand if you don't have sohbat. Because if you don't have sohbat, then you're going to understand according to your ego. Because there is nobody there to guide you. You are saying, I have the map. I have to go there. You're not taking any guides. You're not taking anyone who has gone back and forth hundreds of times to show you the way. You say, no, I can read. Now you're going to go by yourself, you will get lost. So many of us, we travel up and down to New York, correct? Now, you're saying, I don't need a guide to show me because I have my GPS. How many people they get lost even with a GPS? Because they don't look anymore. They look only to that machine. And the machine says turn left. Even if there's nothing there, they turn. And there's so many people, they get into accident just because the GPS is saying turn, there's nothing there, they just turn. This is also understanding. But it is a wrong understanding. It is a lower level of understanding. How are you going to understand properly? How are you going to understand? We're not going to say we're going to understand according to how Allah understands. It is impossible. How are we going to understand now? According to how that Prophet has been sent to us, and he's making us to understand. He's making us to live. He's making us to go through his sunnats. Which means that he's making us to try to understand being from his nation through his eyes, through his tongue, through his ears, through his heart. So in order to have real understanding, you have to understand the way that the Holy Prophet ﷺ, how he understands. We will never be like that. We will never be like him. We'll never be 100%, but because we are following the sunnah, so now the ego is you're going to put a block there. You're going to put a veil there. The dunya, you're going to put another veil there. Your ego, you're going to put another veil there. Shaitan, you're going to put another veil because you're following your guide. The guide is the Holy Prophet ﷺ. So how are you going to understand? It is through him. It is through his eyes. We are following a sheikh. Sit over there, behind. Quickly, get up. You are interfering in the sohbat and you are interfering with other people too, huh? That is also ego. Ego is saying, don't move, sit over here, you sit over here. That is also ego. It doesn't matter. Now, you know that the situation, how it is. If something is happening to, he is watching everything. Why you have to interfere? You are someone. This is the whole point. People keep thinking they're someone. If you think, oh, I'm nothing, but people are very quick to say, I'm nothing, I'm no one, I'm nobody. But their actions is saying the opposite. Actions is declaring themselves. That is another trick, that so many they are lost there. No, I'm very stupid one. But, blah, 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 blah. I'm the lowest level one, but, blah, 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 blah. But they do. So they're just playing games. Now, a guide is not just there to tell you, please, my dear, please, my sweetheart, walk here or there. He is going to guide you. If you're going to fall off the cliff, he's not going to speak with nice words. He's going to scream, he's going to yell, he's going to pull you. Just like that man who is sitting under a tree and he's sleeping, and another man on the horse. He was an awliya. And he's looking at that man and he saw a snake going inside his mouth. But the man is sleeping. Snake goes inside his mouth. The man on the horse saying, this man is going to die if I don't do something. He ran on the horse. The horse just started running to the man. And he took his whip, he started whipping the man. The man is sleeping. The man just got up. And he's saying, why are you doing this to me? He says, get up. He's whipping the man, and the man got up and he says, what do you want? What wrong did I do to you? Get up and run. He's saying, run. And the man started running. Why are you hitting me? I don't know you. Run. He's saying, there is no time. You don't understand. Now stop and eat all those rotten apples. Eat. He says, eat. He started eating it. Whipping him, eat, when he stops. Then he says, now run again. He started running. After running for a couple of minutes, he threw up. And when he threw up all those apples, and he threw up that snake. Then the man realized, oh, I thought you were shaitan. I thought you were a tyrant. I thought you were the one who is just an oppressor, but now I know you must be sent by Allah to save my life. Our ego is worse than that. So many people don't even know there are snakes inside of them. Majority think they are angels. And when something is being said, oh, me? You're talking to me? So now, whose understanding are you going to take? If you take the understanding of the man who is just sleeping, he is lost. He has destroyed himself. If you take the understanding of the man who is riding on the horse, now you have a wider understanding. Whose understanding? The understanding that we want to have is understanding coming from ilahiyat. It is not coming from nafsani understanding. It is not coming from dunyawi understanding. And to be able to get that understanding, you have to be in sohbat, and you have to be having a guide, and you have to be able to serve and to live and to understand and to watch and to observe and to put yourself there. More that one is saying something and more you're putting yourself up, putting that veil, more difficult it's going to be. You're stopping all the work now. Maybe that one after a while is going to say, you know what, don't worry. Sleep, go to sleep. It's okay. You don't like it, right? You're cursing at me. You're saying things to me, even if I explain it to you. And I have explained it to you. Sleep. And that snake is just going to kill us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, the servant becomes beloved to me. The servant becomes beloved to me. When what? When he starts fulfilling all his obligations. All obligations that we're supposed to do. And when we do them, all the prayer and fasting, everything that we're supposed to do. The hundreds of good actions we're supposed to do and the hundreds of wrong actions that we're supposed to leave. Always the wrong actions, they don't talk about it right now. That we're supposed to leave. You're doing that, you become beloved to Allah. But Allah says, my servant comes nearer to me. This is tied to the question that you had yesterday. And your question too, to be near to Allah. Allah is near to us. How do you become near to Allah? He says, my servant comes near to me when he starts doing things that I did not make obligation to him. That Allah now does not have to put a law to say you have to do this and you don't have to do this. Now your heart is working. You don't have to wait for him to say anything. You already know. This is when your heart is working. This is what we're trying to, Shaykh Effendi is trying to teach us here in the Dargah. Your heart has to work. If the Shaykh has to tell you everything to do, what good is that? It's still a donkey. Your heart is not working. The whole point of tariqat is for your heart to work. And Allah is saying, once you start doing things that I did not put a law on you, your heart is working, you will come close to me. What happens then? What happens then? Allah is saying, I will be the eyes that you see. I will be the tongue that you speak. I will be the ears that you hear. I will be the hands that you touch. I will be the feet that you walk. Do you understand? That Hadith Qudsi, as Hadith Qudsi continues. We're not going to cover that right now. But you become lordly. You become near to Allah. You will get, Allah will dress us with those divine qualities. We are not divine. Allah is divine. But Allah's divine quality of, say, rahmat, He will dress us with that. We will have more compassion. Allah's divine quality of sabr, ya sabur, will become more patient. We're not going to become more angry. We're not going to become more lazy. We're not going to become more stubborn, more arrogant, more ignorant. It's impossible. It is impossible the person in tariqat is going to become that way. If you are that way, you are in the wrong way. Either you're following the wrong tariqat, or inside the tariqat you're not following it. You're following your ego. Because it is impossible. When you're doing everything that is correct, that you're supposed to do, and you're doing more than that, that you're not going to have an understanding of what your Lord wants from you. that you're not going to have an understanding of what your Prophet wants from you, that you're not going to have an understanding at least of what your Shaykh wants from you. Your heart has to work. The air has to change. It will come to you. Because the whole point is for our heart to open. So now, what understanding? Be the eyes of your Shaykh, or let your Shaykh be your eyes, let your Shaykh be your ears, let your Shaykh be the tongue. All that is meaning now, our example is the Holy Prophet ﷺ. When we're following our Shaykh is following the Prophet ﷺ. He's teaching us the Sunnah, he's teaching us taqwa, how to have that. Easy way, shortcut, easy way. So when you do that, then you start having a bigger understanding. You don't do that, you will just be stuck with a donkey understanding, that's all. You'll just be stuck. 20 years you're going to be in this way, 20 years you're going to have a donkey understanding, because you're not looking with his eyes. Because you refuse to. And we start with very simple things. You're not speaking with his tongue. Meaning, Shaykh Effendi is saying what? In Ottoman Turkish, in Turkish they say, put the tongue behind the heart. You don't just blah, 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 speak, you put the tongue behind the heart, you check. The heart, when you speak, it has to be from the heart. So if you're not understanding how to follow the Sunnah of your Shaykh, how are you going to follow the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ? This is not to make people to become robots. No. This is not to make people to become exactly to imitate. No. Everyone has their own uniqueness. Everyone has their own secrets. Everyone has their own blessings. And this is the miracle. This is the miracle. Because if we have 2 billion people following the Holy Prophet ﷺ, his 2 billion people will still remain separate and still remain attesting the unity of Allah and the oneness of Allah and their own uniqueness. Because even when you are disappearing, you appear after that. You never just disappear and you finish for nothing. You appear. And when you appear, you will be that real self. Not this fake self that we have. That real self that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had created on the day of promises. And more. And with more openings, with more blessings, with more secrets. Because it is not just to copy someone. It is to find our reality. It is not just to copy someone walking from here to there. It is to find our direction and our destiny to our destination. It is important. Otherwise, when everyone is thinking just with their own ego, even if outside they're doing everything correctly, but inside there's still their ego that is just holding up, like that, you're not going to change, you're not going to gain anything, you're not going to have any understanding. I gained sitting with my Shaykh. I gained with his blessings, watching how he talks, what he thinks, how he deals with people. Everything that I've learned is from him. Everything good that I've learned, it is from him. And it is necessary. In this way, if you're not doing that, then why are you here? Why we are here? Especially for this Jamaat. Because we are not just, like I said before, the Shaykh is driving. We're not just sitting in the back also enjoying the ride. Because the Shaykh may say, now, there are so many people that need rides now. What are you doing sitting in the back? Come and watch me how I drive. Because there are so many people that they need a ride. They need to be transported. They need to be protected from this dunya to Mawla, because that is the function of the prophets, is to bring people from this dunya to Mawla, safety, in safety. It is the function of this Jamaat, the function of this tariqah. It's not just to sit and to play music and to be happy. It is to learn. On the day when people are going to fight with each other, the real believers, on that day of judgment, the real believers, they are not going to fight with each other. They're going to find people to save. So if we don't have that characteristic right now, don't think right now, oh, I'm such a high one on the day of judgment, I'm going to give shafaat. That is wrong. Stay away from being those ones who are just going to fight with one another. Look at yourself now. Are you fighting with people now? Then you're probably going to fight on the hereafter. You're feeling good and easy and calm. Whatever comes, you do what is right, you know what is wrong, you stay away, you don't put anger in your heart, and that time we can be nominees for those ones on the day of judgment, that their job is like the job of the awliya Allah, the job of the prophets, which is to give shafaat. Inshallah, we have some understanding. When you have that understanding, it will change. More excuse we put, more hijab we're going to put, more veil, more parda that we're going to put there. We should not, inshallah Rahman. The whole aim is for us to return to our Lord clean. And may Allah, for the sake of Ramadan, make us to be clean, inshallah. And whatever wrong actions that we have done so far in this month, we're asking from His boundless mercy and His boundless forgiveness and His boundless love for the sake of the Prophet ﷺ and our Shaykh to forgive us and to make us to be clean, inshallah, and strong ones, to grant us more patience. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Khair. Are there any questions you have? Inshallah Rahman. This much is enough. Inshallah, have a good Ramadan. I will see you next week. If Allah gives us life, next week, next few days that are coming, they're very precious days. Don't run after more shopping and eating and drinking and watching nonsense things. Run to fill up the masjids. Run to make your house to become a masjid. Don't make your house to become a grave. Make your house to become a masjid. Sit somewhere and make more ibadat. Don't talk too much with people. Pull yourself back, inshallah. These are the days of iktikaf. Every day, make the intention when you're waking up. I make the intention today, I'm going to be in iktikaf. Every time you pray, you say, I'm making the intention to make the iktikaf. Then, do as much as we can. We are weak ones. But it is very easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with His boundless mercy, to forgive us and to bless us. And for the sake of the beloved ones, it's very easy for us to be granted that mercy, inshallah. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Hurmatul Habib, Hurmatul Fatiha. Allah. Amin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.